Hello everybody, this is Kevin, your SLO coordinator. I'm going to go over a overview of what's going on with SLOs. I'm trying to streamline it, try to make it more organized for everyone. So the first thing you'll want to do is go to faculty and staff. I'm trying to keep everything in one place, which would be on the Student Learning Outcomes website. And if you notice, the website is being built in Canvas, so I keep working on it slowly. Here, we're going to talk about the schedule of SLOs and PLOs. If you click on here, everyone will have access to when you want your SLOs or your PLOs assessed. It'll be right here in this beautiful Excel worksheet that Dixie and I put together. More Dixie, I just met with her on Zoom and we moved things around, and because she's the guru on this stuff. So if you'll notice, all of these are the departments, and if you want to see the arrow here, I'm up here in the left corner. Click on the arrow down and it will open up the whole department, and I'm going to open up the English department because that's the one I'm in. And if you notice, all of the SLOs are here. We start with English 8 and go down to our highest level. Also, these are the SLOs, and then at the bottom are the PLOs. Okay, so what are we doing with this grid, with this worksheet, this Excel sheet? Here I went through SPOL and I got as much information on the SPOL as I could. So any class that was assessed, I wrote complete, 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 complete. But over here this says dialogue and improvements. This is the most important part, which is closing of the loop. What did you learn from the dialogue? What changes do you want to make? What are the improvements you want to make? So once they're finished, I come through here and I write complete. So although the English department, we collected the data here, we haven't done any of the dialogue yet. And that's what the accreditation committee is going to be looking for. So if you come down here, it's the same for the PLOs. We did do 2 PLOs. So back up here, when you're doing the closing of the loop, which is the most important, I just met with Dr. Janio, who is the consultant for the Junior College Committee, and he also is the SLO coordinator at Santa Ana. So he and I have been meeting on Zoom periodically, and what he suggested is when we're doing the closing of the loop, the dialogue and the improvements, we don't have to look at each outcome core SLO individually. He suggested that since our English 8, 9, and 10 are all the developmental classes, the faculty who teach the developmental classes talk about all 3 of these together, submit one form to me, I'll enter it, and then I'll write complete for all of these. And then the transfer level teachers can meet, the literature teachers can meet, and then you might think it's disjointed. However, but when we do the PLOs, after all the SLOs have been, for each class, have been collected, then we come down to the PLOs. This is where the developmental, the transfer, the literature, all of us would meet and talk about that. That way it's not disjointed. Well, so do the developmental for the SLOs, maybe do the transfer, do the literature, but then for the PLOs, you want to talk about everything, and then you could submit one form for the program learning outcomes for the closing of the loop here. So that was his suggestion, because I thought, wow, this is going to be so much if we have to look at every SLO and I have to enter it. But that's not the case. So for closing of the loop for English 8, 9, and 10, there are currently 12 SLOs. However, you'd only have to submit one PLO form to me and I'd be happy with it. I mean, it might be extensive, but I'm just going to copy and paste the information into SPOL so we have it later. All right, so we talked about that, but how do we know when we're going to assess? So if you come up here, we put this here for 16, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19. So you're going to put a check mark. You're going to put a check mark here, or an X, when your department plans to assess a certain SLO. So it should all be filled. And on some of these, I know that we only offer some courses once every 2 years. That's great. Put a check mark there for when you'll do it. And then just be sure that all of the courses have been assessed before you do your PLOs. Dr. Janio says we can't have any holes. We need to assess all of the classes so we know which classes are helping us or hurting us, or which ones we need to improve on. So here is this. So Michael would go through here and put when we're going to assess. That way, if the accreditation looks at our planning, they'll know, oh, they're really organized. They know exactly when they're going to do which SLO and when they're going to do which PLO. Now, if you're the department chair and you don't want to put the X's in here, make a copy of this, put check, whatever, give it to me or email it to me, and I'll put the information, and I'm okay with that. Also, I wanted to say, I may have said this earlier, if you try to open this on your phone, there's some difficulties, so you may just want to use your computer. And so here's where we're going to keep all of the SLO and the PLO. When are they going to be accessed? And I'll put completed when they are finished. And here, if you want to, let's go to the 91. I'm going to scroll back up to the 2, right click. I'm going to hide the rows 2 to 91. Then you have the spreadsheet closed again, the Excel spreadsheet. Okay, now let's go, and I want to talk about where your faculty will put in their information. And sorry about my dogs. So I just closed the spreadsheet, and I'm back here to the main menu. Underneath the schedule, there's student learning outcomes. In the student learning outcomes, there's no need to use SPOL anymore. I've created 3 forms. One for non-leads, one for leads, and one for closing of the loop. This is the most important. However, if I were teaching English 8 and there were 4 faculty members and I was the lead, I'd come here because I'm the lead, and the lead has to enter a little extra information. A measurement title, a description, the rubric, are you doing quantitative, qualitative, or both? So they would fill that out and then they'd submit it, and I'd get it and I'd put the information into SPOL. Now, however, if I weren't the lead, if I were just assessing ESL or English 8 and Kevin's the lead here and I'm not, I would just put the information here from my classes. And then here, closing of the loop, again, meet. English 8, 9, and 10 can meet and only submit one of these forms, and then I can put complete on the spreadsheet. And again, here for program learning outcomes, enter the data into here, and then when you do the closing of the loop for the PLO, I would meet as a whole department, discuss it, because you want to make sure it's united. I don't know how the math or other departments break it up, but we have the developmental, the transfer, the literatures. But we want to have all of that discussion for the program learning outcome. And SLO should be done within every 3 years, which means the PLO should be done the 3rd year. So we want to keep this moving, keep it going. And I can say honestly that a lot of departments haven't done PLOs, and we need to start doing those. We need to get those done. All right, let me think what else I wanted to show you. Yes, here, once you fill out that form, this is the email for the student learning outcomes. So I have 205 inbox over the winter. So I've been entering them slowly into SPOL. So I mean, I just basically open up the form and I look here. I say, oh, this is fall 2017 history 121. I copy and paste the information, and then I put it into the right spots in SPOL so we have it for future reference. And again, you get a copy of this as well. So that's that. So here is the schedule. The department chairs will get that filled out, so you'll know as a faculty member where you need to go to look. Student learning outcomes, go here. There are 3 forms. Program learning, again, it's 3 forms. I'm trying to keep everything uniform, consistent. Institutional learning outcomes and stuff like that, don't worry. That's on me. I'll take care of that. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please let me know. And yes, if you want to share this, go ahead and share it. It's perfectly fine. All right, thank you.